Hey guys, Frankie Met here, Chief Editor of Kleft Jaw Press, and on here today to basically celebrate the arrival of my personal copy of Nate Maxson's The Torture Report, out now from Kleft Jaw Press. You guys can go to www.kleftjawpress.com and click on the shop tab there. Just go ahead and select this book. It's $7, cheapest KJ title that we have on the shelf, so to speak. Really great artwork, of course, by Michaela Armijo, and great cover design by Mr. Sam Johannes. Two very, very cool people, and a really great blurb on the back here by Mr. Gabriel Ricard. You probably can't see it very well right now, but you guys should definitely pick this up. I wanted to come in today and basically share a little excerpt from the book itself. And it's actually one of my favorite poems in the book. Of course, it being wildfire season, what better excerpt to share with you guys than Wildfire Season in June by Mr. Nate Maxson. Wildfire. A heavy seasoning wakes viral strains of first-hand smoke in obviously Paco Bell's Canyon. The curtain opens, bright red from the ground up, the voltage, the proud scar, fuel for nostalgia, a pill for the future, one for me and one for the recipient of my dull affection and one for the engine. Sleep of abandoned mailboxes, of bandages still wrapped in plastic, cuts open to the air in a fury for obsidian. Arrowheads scattered sacramental chunks of Vesuvian teeth throughout the west. Fire season begins. Loading up on ammunition to combat it, mutual allegories. I'm sorry for such a heavy-handed, foolish preaching, but it's all for the love of snake oil and the game. I'm chasing something into former black forest, sky infinite in its deadness now, the wildfire aftermath negotiating with organic Dresdens, the bad old days, and yet the true nudity of it all begs questioning more than where the soil line failed to keep the fire from jumping. An intermission of the chase, all we are really, a coda, just as hungry as those who carved hearts into picnic tables, half-off automatic rifles, catch 'em while they're on the run. Leaving hoof prints on concrete and skid marks in the mud, trenches dug in the department stores paved over for temples, paved over for nature reserves, and the trenches remain. Steady as perfume, California trembles acts of God and the permanent teenager and permanent teenage gods. Unavoidable unless we want only smokers to possess lighters, but then who would play the gentleman and light the grand dame's long cigarillos at the award ceremony? Don't call it ritual sacrifice. We'd like to believe it was consensual as a promise. The cliche, the fluid in the trees, and then the ignition. No more grocery lists or meter readings. Wouldn't that be nice? Just like in the song, Good Night Gatter Damarone. Taxidermy practice on robotic house pets. Best get this out of the way, stuffing everywhere, warning signs and friendly reminders. Non-portable and not guaranteed to put out anything. I would assume it's still water, unmoving shallow antidote to the drought. Wearing down the wall of fire, the struck light source, swinging El Infierno, predators in orange vests on the run. Long telescopes spinning on their stands against a stampede of pacifists. No way of knowing which ones are real and which are just hungry. Stay low with inhalation, making a descent to salt water while the civil servants practice their breaststrokes in hot groves anticipatory. Every year around this time we begin again, and then we blame the entertainment or the help or trench coats made of flammable fabrics from Sri Lanka. Why not just blame the Sri Lankan children for their own eventual factorial collapse? God save the Union, till death do us part, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Arsonist delight exists deeper than charcoal or finding a deal. When you're in the West, you're really in the West. Midday barbecue 1,000 miles and then the deepest, coldest swimming pool, but there's going to be a waiting line. I dream it in dark red ice cream headaches, so red the healing process interrupted, sap for syrup collected in an empty plastic milk jug, alms for the poor, a tithe for the church, the Salt River Project raising Phoenix up into a brittle streaming diamond, the great romance of Carrie at the prom. We have always so loved the moment of spark, even though so few are quick enough to witness it. Typically, they're investigating aftermaths, claw marks, and hair caught on blackberry bushes, or getting out by gut instinct moments ahead of time, in the center. The wildfire must serve and protect and arm ourselves against ourselves, subconsciously waiting since Nagasaki, a chorus voice in the myth for a spark. One spark, we learned who the real enemy were, much too late to turn on the safety, to start the stampede. One more summer, one more time now with feeling. One more before summer, and one more before it extinguishes. A notch on the sofa like a forgotten snowstorm. A lizard losing its tail, ignorant for speed. a Mobius strip of cold-bloodedness, the eventual staring lovingly into the eventual, and it stares back, and I, knowing from the magic 8-ball's fortunate affirmation, inhale gently. I have seen where the monsters come from, what hungers them, and why they demand martyrdom against wine tasters in the circle and sophisticates with secret anosmia, lack of sense, smell, and foresight, the rust leaving my skin like dandruff. Wildfire season in California and Colorado, only a chance, one chance to put it out. Pile on fur coats covered in quaint shades of activist red handprints to put it out. Jump in. Rub your hands together with 2 sticks if you want. If you're marooned with the rest of us, we are not collecting driftwood for smoke signals, and there will be no more talk of escape. That was Wildfire Season from the Torture Report by Mr. Nate Maxson. Like I said, you guys can go to www.kleftjaw.com and pick that up. Great stuff. 6 poems. Great interview, of course, with Mr. Nate Maxson that really gives a little bit more deeper insight into what the author was looking for. So pick that up. I'm Mr. Frankie Met, and catch you guys later. Live free, write forever.